Our next and final inductee of the night is former softball and women's basketball star and 2002 graduate, Mandy Wilson.
If you were going to build a softball team and say, okay, I need the best softball team I can have, I would go get Mandy Wilson and say, Mandy, where do you want to play?
Over the last decade, Mandy Wilson's name has become synonymous with Gettysburg College softball. Any bullet that chases a record, whether it's from a single game, one season, or an entire career, likely looks up at Wilson's name on the all-time leaderboard.
Mandy was softball. Every coach feared her. She could outrun everybody. She could hit for power against anybody. She could hit for average against anybody. She could catch anything that was near her. She was like a vacuum. She would catch people's bunts. She was so aggressive. She just made everybody more aggressive. She made everybody excited. The energy from her, it was like she handed it out to her teammates every time she did something.
During her 4-year tenure, Wilson established nearly 36 game, season, and career records. The ultimate five-tool player, Wilson showed her power early by setting school single-season records with 5 home runs and 40 RBIs during her freshman season as Gettysburg marched its way to the Centennial Conference title and the Division III NCAA tournament. Following her freshman campaign, Wilson's batting average would never dip below 400 again. After hitting .452 as a sophomore, the third baseman logged the highest single-season average in school history in 2001 with a rate of .491. She tied her own single-season record with 40 runs scored and set new marks with 9 triples and 21 stolen bases on her way to being named the Centennial Conference Player of the Year, adding yet another first to an already large resume.
When we first built it, Bobby Jones Field, we had 215, I believe it is, down the lines, and an 8-foot fence, and no one in the conference had that. Well, the first time we played there, I remember someone said, no one's ever going to hit it out of here. The first pitch, Wilson hits the bottom of the fence in right field. And then, you start thinking, that was a pretty good shot, but it still didn't go out. Next at bat, she jacks one over the scoreboard, over the fence. So she probably hit the ball 240, 250, that ball's probably still going. There's probably still a dent out in the battlefield somewhere. You'll find, the cannonballs next, it'll be one of the softballs that Wilson hit.
Wilson, who also played basketball in each of her first 3 seasons and led the team in steals and assists, left the hardwood behind to concentrate on softball during her senior campaign. Once again, she was named the Conference Player of the Year and All-Conference First Team after hitting over 400 and tying her school records for triples and home runs. In the end, Wilson finished her career as a 4-time All-Centennial selection, earning first-team honors 3 times. She finished as the softball program's all-time leader in batting average, slugging, on-base average, runs, hits, triples, RBI, total bases, stolen bases, and home runs.
I think Mandy Wilson deserves to be in the Hall of Athletic Honor because there is no softball player in the history of Gettysburg College that I coached that could match her as far as her abilities, her competitiveness, her stats. Oh my goodness. I mean, she's got just about every record you could have at one point in time. But also that I think she exemplifies competitiveness and going for it and, bringing everything she has and letting it out on the field. And I think that everyone grew and became better people because Mandy Wilson was on that team. Mandy Wilson went to Gettysburg College.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Mandy Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for sticking around for the W in the alphabet. Used to be the last person, so I just first wanted to start out like my former inductees and just thank all of the Hall of Athletic Honor people that came tonight to lead us into the room and be here to support us. I really appreciate it. I'm proud to be wearing one of these now. So I brought my little notepad. I'm going to do this kind of Academy Award style and thank some people tonight. I previously, when I worked, did my work study here, I worked for the Orange and Blue Club, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the people that got to come to these, and I don't know, that was maybe 11 years ago, and I just remember when I received the letter, my reaction was first of excitement. I didn't take a photo of it yet, but then of thinking, oh, they made really long speeches at those things. So I was very excited to learn that they now do videos. And then I was a little nervous that Coach K would be my spokesperson for my video, but didn't tell too many bad stories about me. And so like I said, just want to thank a couple people and know everyone's ready to roll out to the pub. So first I want to thank my parents, to my dad, who actually was my first, we couldn't remember actually if he was my first softball coach or at least definitely one of them. So he taught me a lot of what I learned, which is apparently unconventional according to Coach K, but it worked for me. And also just for driving me to many, many practices throughout the years and always coming to my games. They would come to Gettysburg games and get home in the wee hours in the morning, but they were always there, so I appreciate that. To my fiance, Richie, who taught me a new sport when I graduated from college. I started playing rugby. So it gave me an outlet for my competitiveness and was a new challenge for me. And so it was a great part of our relationship. And I thank him for bringing his calm and patient New Zealand attitude into our relationship as well. It cooled me down a little bit. I was very competitive, so it was a good balance for me. To my friend Steph, I'm happy to have here tonight, and my sister for giving me my toughness. We played many, many hours of indoor wall ball, we called it. It was a little basketball hoop on the back of her wall, and we would play for hours, and her mom would finally come and say, the house is going to come down. You need to stop now. So, and what else did we played roof ball and snowboarding in our front yard. So I got a lot of my toughness from my childhood friend, Steph. To my high school softball coach, Miss C, who I'm just thrilled could make it here tonight, for, again, having faith in me. She started me as a freshman at shortstop in high school, and everyone was kind of not happy about that decision, or you thought someone else should be there, and you had faith in me and always stuck with me, and I appreciated that, and it turned out to be a great career at Indian Valley, for being crazy enough to let me ride your jet skis at the lake and drive your standard car around when I don't drive standard. And I think my senior year, my softball glove broke, and I was like, well, I don't really need one. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing. And she went out and bought me a new glove. So I credit her for continuing to play in college because I felt like I had to keep using that glove a little bit longer. To Kelly Jones for being my work-study boss and good friend. We say what's said in the equipment room stays in the equipment room. So many of us have had the opportunity to work for Kelly, and it was always fun to go there after class and just decompress for a while. I also wanted to thank you for letting me keep my coveted practice sweatpants. So Kelly and I were talking about this. Coach K, apparently you don't make people wear their sweatpants to practice anymore. I think you're getting soft in your old age. But when we were practicing, we had to wear sweatpants to practice basketball. So I don't know how many of you know that about him, but apparently it was so we weren't afraid to dive on the floor, and we would feel lighter when we put our basketball shorts on. So, but I won't tell anyone else I have those. Of course, to Coach K for introducing me to my home at third base. I think the first, we went to spring break, and he was reading off the lineup, and he said, "Oh, Wilson, you're at 5. And so I ran out to second base, and Jody was there, I think. And I was like, "Oh, Jody, I think I'm playing here." And she said, "No, 5 is third. You're playing third." I was like, "I know, I've never practiced at third. I don't think I'm playing third base." And he's like, "No, I think it'll be okay. Like, I'll tell you when to move up and when to get the bunt and everything." So I didn't have much practice there at first, and it ended up being my favorite position. So I thank you for that. Also, for giving me the green light on the bases and for indulging in ice cream with me at every occasion possible. And then finally, I wanted to public apologize to you for hitting you in the face with that softball. I know you didn't find out about that for many years, but I think it finally came out one night at the bar. And of course, to all of my teammates throughout the years, I've never been a big person to get excited about individual accolades. I'm very honored to be here, but it's really, like some of these other inductees said, it's all about your teammates, and it's a lot of work to play sport and be in school. So it's really about your teammates pushing you and being there for you when the times are tough. So just want to thank all of them. I'm still friends with lots of them, and it was a big part of my experience here at Gettysburg. And so finally, I just want to thank basically the entire athletic department here at Gettysburg College. It was, like I said, a very big part of my experience here, and to the Orange and Blue Club for this honor and for this great banquet that you put on. Looking forward to hopefully coming back and leading the march in future years. So thank you very much.